rest, to you rest and you leave us. You will do it.
Deal. At 12 o'clock.
Only to Joseph, mister.
No, I say, Simon said you to leave us and we be alone in the class or we.
Only to Joseph.
Yeah, I'm the only one that want to rest.
Okay. Let's look at these right here.
They
These
wake me
types of
up for
birds.
class.
Look at these types of birds, okay? We have the perching birds, the Bohemian waxwing, the eastern phoebe, the eastern bluebird, eastern mockingbird, scarlet tanager. We have game birds. We have the red dove, or the rock dove, which is a pigeon, the red jungle fowl, golden pheasant, bobby white quail, wild turkey. Then we have tropical birds right here, which is the rosy-faced lovebird, scarlet macaw. How do you say this? What's another name for this? Spanish.
In Spanish.
Yeah.
What, mister?
This one right here.
Camaya.
Guacamaya, right?
Guacamaya.
Toco toucan. We have the flightless birds, which are the macaroni penguins, kiwis, great area. We have the birds of prey, which is the great horned owl, the Marshall eagle, California condor, bald eagle. We have water birds, which is the herring gull, Atlantic puffin, wood duck, western grebe, and the roseate spoonbill. Okay.
Okay.
Now we have this section right here. We're going to be reading about the types of birds.
Mr. White are red pastors Nathan is
Mister,
Yeah?
we head down.
we are going to do the chapter 7 review.
No.
Ay, thanks God.
Mister,
Yeah.
you know who won the Math Olympics?
It hasn't been, that was just qualifying who's going to be in it.
Who are in the Math Olympics?
And the Math Olympics, when they're gonna be?
I think that Anderson, Luis Mario, and Diosa.
They haven't set a date yet. All right.
Can be you. I didn't have the, how do you say the?
Okay.
the
Right now,
I
we're
don't
not going to talk about the Math Olympics. We're going to talk about our different types
We
of
are in
birds.
science.
Okay. So let's get started reading because you guys have a special assignment to do after this. All right. There are about 40 different orders of birds. Because the classification of birds into orders is complex, many bird watchers prefer to use a simpler classification that divides birds into 6 categories: perching birds, birds of prey, water birds, game birds, tropical birds, and flightless birds. Sometimes a 7th category is added for extinct birds. Because some birds fit in more than one category and others do not fit in any, this system is not precise enough for ornithologists, but is very useful and convenient for describing most birds. All right, perching birds. Let's start with perching birds. If you were asked to think of a bird, you would probably picture a common perching bird, like those found in forests, parks, and backyards. Perching birds include songbirds, wrens, and similar species. Most perching birds are equipped with perching feet, although some birds that fit best in this category have climbing feet. Another trait most perching birds share is that their chicks hatch featherless and helpless. Birds that hatch this way are altricial birds. Unusual perchers. The nuthatch is a unique songbird. Like all songbirds, it has perching feet with 3 toes forward and 1 back. However, it is well known as the climber. The nuthatch is the only bird that will climb down a tree trunk head first. You see it right here, how it's climbing down a tree trunk with its head down. All other birds that climb descend tail first. Nuthatchers are named after the habit of hatching seeds by wedging them into a crack and then hammering them with their bills. Another unique perching bird is the tawny frogmouth of Australia. During the day, God has given this nocturnal bird a special means of camouflage. During the day, tawny frogmouths perch on tree trunks with their heads up, and this dull-covered bird, by remaining still, this dull-covered bird can look like the stump of a dead, broken branch. Look, I can't even see it right here. Look right here. Okay, this is the face of Anderson when he wakes up in the morning, right here.
Yes.
All right, but you can barely see it. See how it's designed to be camouflaged and hidden?
Yes.
They're perching birds. Now we have male bowerbirds. Anderson, read me about male bowerbirds.
Male bowerbirds have a unique ritual for finding a mate. Each male will build a huge nest called a bower out of grass and decorate it with shells, flowers, and other colorful objects. Each species of bowerbird has a unique bower design. The females of these Australian and New Guinean birds will inspect each male's bower before choosing a mate. The bower is not actually used as the nest for the eggs. Instead, the female will build her own nest after mating. I continue, Mr. Mr.
Yeah, keep going.
Tiny homers. No other bird can match the hovering ability of the hummingbird, which hover near brightly colored flowers, drinking the sweet nectar with its double-toothed tongue. Like tiny helicopter, hummingbird can fly up, down, forward, backward, sideways, and even upside down. Not surprisingly, they are fast and very agile in forward flight. A hummingbird's wings flap at a roundly constant rate, whether the hummingbird is hovering or in swift forward flight. A typical hummingbird beats its wings nearly 52 times per second. But the bee hummingbird, the smallest of all birds, beats its wing 80 times every second, faster than any other bird. A hummingbird's wings beat so quickly that they produce the humming sound that gives this bird its name. Most birds generate thrust only on the downward stroke, so the pectoralis major muscle are 5 to 6 times stronger than the pectoralis minor muscle. Since the hummingbird generates thrust during both the down stroke and upstroke, but set of muscle must be equally strong. To provide enough power for hovering flight, hummingbirds have some of the large flight muscle in relation to their size. I finished with that.
Sorry, I muted myself because these kids were crying. All right, very good. So they're tiny hummingbirds. I'm sorry, Diosa. Diosa is messaging me. Okay, sorry. Birds of prey. So perching birds are birds that perch. To sit, stuff like that. They have 3 toes forward and 1 back. Now we have birds of prey. Birds are ones that hunt, that do damage, okay? So let's read about those. Leb, you start reading that for me.
Bird of prey. All
Prey.
raptors are carnivorous hunting birds. Other birds are carnivorous. Raptors are distinguished by their ability to hunt and catching prey with grasping feet. Birds of prey include falcons, eagles, owls, geese, and ospreys. All too often considered species inside of hunters. Vultures, including condors, are also birds of prey. All raptors are diurnal except owls. Instead,
Okay.
in manner of standing, It's so that it
Sir,
falls. Sometimes the partner
it
will.
was no, it's not that. You don't have to read that. Something was bad. Oh, in the last page.
Yeah, there was more to it. There was a photo in between. Let's read
There's something more in the last page.
Dear night over it.
He needs
I
to.
missed it.
It's down.
What's that, guys?
Mister, look at Joseph's camera.
Huh?
Look at Joseph's camera.
Can't see Joseph's camera. What is he doing?
Secretary bird uses several methods to kill its prey.
Oh my God.
I have
Oh my God.
started reading it.
Good job.
What?
All right.
Leave it like that, mister.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Wow.
The peregrine. Go for it. Philip.
The parent falcon is the fastest bird in the world. Hunts pigeons and other small birds, getting down at a very steep eagle or even it can reach steps over 20 kilometers per hour. At the bottom of the dive, the parasite sticks the prey with his sharp talons, often killing the prey instantly. In matter of standing it so that it falls. Sometimes the prey will fasten its feet firmly to its prey and ride it to the ground. Because of their speed, peregrines are one of several birds of prey that have been using since ancient times. In the sport of falconry, hunting using trained falcons and hawks, one of the strongest birds of prey is secretary bird of America. The secretary bird has extremely long legs. It's a good runner instead of flying. It hunts on the
Hi,
ground
mister.
for snakes, rabbits, and insects. The secretary bird uses several methods to kill its prey. Sometimes the bird will hold the prey with its feet, while training is with a wide view. Other times, a secretary bird will stamp on the prey with its sharp talons. Secretary birds have also been reported to kill snakes by tapping them from their modified.
Huh? Have big feet.
By dropping them from their bills mid-flight. Okay. So that's the secretary bird. It's really good at running, so sometimes it runs instead of trying to fly. Okay. Let's go to the bald eagle.
The majestic bald eagle.
Keep going, Samuel.
Mister?
Yeah, you read.
Okay. The majestic bald eagle, the national bird of the United States, is named for the white feathers covering its head. This bird, which lives only in North America, can have a wingspan of up to 2.5 meters, 8 feet, making it the second largest raptor in North America. Bald eagles primarily eat fish, snatching them out of the water with their talons, but they also scavenge and hunt small mammals. Finish, or I continue.
Keep going.
The screech owl is found throughout large portions of North America in separate eastern and western species. This robin-sized owl can be distinguished from other small owls by its distinctive ear tubes, which do not actually function in hearing. Both male and female may be either reddish, orange, or grayish brown. Screech owls prey on mice and other small rodents.
Joseph.
Water birds.
Let's have Joseph read water birds.
They're tiny ducks. I like the duck.
Wait, mister, wait.
Tiny.
Include, please let me read. Including swimming birds like waterfowl, pelicans, and grebes, and wading birds like flamingos, gulls, and herons. The tube noses, including albatrosses and petrels, are noted for hunting and scavenging far out the sea. Many water birds are precocial, hatching with down up and able to run or swim shortly after birth. Waterfowl are ducks, geese, and swans. The oil. No, wait, that's a point. The oil from their green glands waterproof their feathers so they can swim and dive, yet surface practically dry and able to fly. Dogs can fly. Dogs are short-necked waterfowl that use a variety of feeding methods. Some eat plants and small invertebrates from the bottom of a pond by turning with their tails in the air and their neck stretched out the bottom. Others sweep their bill across the water. Some dogs dive to catch fish. Fish-eating diving dog, the common merganser, was sharp-toothed-like. Ridges on this bill to help it hold its fish prey. They merganser swim underwater using only its feet. Geese and larger than dogs have longer necks. They are at home in the water but usually feed on land. Swam are other necklet that than both dogs and geese. Although they will eat on land, they most often eat by opening themselves and stretching out their necks as some dogs do.
Very good. All right, Luis Mario, read. Let's look at these photos. We have these little precocial duck chicks, little babies. The common merganser that we were just reading about. The Canadian goose, and a swan. These ones are aggressive. They'll attack you. They've attacked my sister before, and it was hilarious. Luis Mario, will you read for me pelicans?
Yeah, pelicans have a unique throat pouches that they use to catch fish. Pelicans will sit on the surface of the water and scoop up a mouthful of water and fish. They drain the water of the pouch, leaving only the fish they eat. Often several pelicans will work together to herd fish so that they can be easily catched. In addition to this, the brown pelican, which live in coast North and South America, can dive from 10 meters to 33 feet in the air to catch fish in deep water. A well-known wading bird found throughout North America is the great blue heron. Deposited its name bird after ate blue, gray, or white. The heron lives near rivers and lakes. It stands motionless in shallows until a fish, frog, or small reptile comes into range. The heron then strikes with its land-like bill, appearing its prey.
Spearing its prey.
I continue.
Yeah, let's actually look at these. All right, so we have a pelican right here. You guys have seen pelicans before with the long, big necks and stuff like that.
I think yes.
Like, have you guys seen Finding Nemo?
Who?
You guys haven't seen Finding Nemo? The one about
Oh,
the
yeah. Finding Nemo
so the
and
fish,
Dory.
the bird that puts the
It's
fish in their mouth.
Nemo,
Yeah.
not Nemo. You say Nemo, Mr. Ernest Nemo.
It's Nemo. I
Ah.
said Nemo.
But
All
you
right,
say
that's a
Nemo.
pelican, and then we have a great blue
I seen a
heron.
movie in real life. Like they were acting the movie in real life in Disney World.
Really? That's cool.
I did.
All right, Luis Mario, keep reading game birds.
Game birds. Okay, the game birds include many birds that either are or have been hunted for food and other often edible birds with similar anatomy. Some birds game birds are doves, pinkies, chickens, quails, grouse, and turkey. Except for doves, penguins, and few of other species, game birds fly very little and nest on the ground. Many game birds have precocial chicks, yet most take care of their young. The group of game birds called megapods are the only birds in the world to provide not to provide any parental care for their young after catching. Megalodons, which includes the maleo and maleofowl
Any fowl?
and brush brush turkeys,
Very good.
bury their eggs in the warm earth to be incubate.
Thank you.
Although the parents usually provide some care of the nest, they abandon the young one they catch.
Yeah, all right. So we hear
Young ones they catch.
some of the game birds: a pheasant, roofed grouse, and maybe- All right, tropical birds. Diosa, will you read me tropical birds?
Mister, I don't want to read because when I read on my phone, I get confused.
Okay, with that. Samuel, will you read for me?
The tropical birds live in the warm regions near the equator. Many tropical birds can also be classified in the other groups. For example, the banana quail of the Caribbean, Central America, and South America is both a tropical bird and a perching songbird. Perhaps the best known tropical birds are parrots, including macaws, parakeets, lorikeets, budgerigar, lovebirds, and cockatoos.
Very good.
Although parrots come in many sizes and colors, they all have similar body shapes and bills. Every parrot also has a characteristic patch of bare skin at the base of its bill. Most parrots live in wooded areas in the tropics, but some live in more open areas or in colder regions.
All right. A lot of tropical birds live here in Honduras because we have jungles here in Honduras. Okay, now keep going. Read about trogons. Samuel?
Mister, I continue.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Trogons are a group of brightly colored tropical birds that eat insects and fruit. One of the best known trogons in the resplendent quetzal, the national bird of Guatemala. A male of this species is green with a red breast and has long feathers growing from beneath its tail. Like most trogons, the resplendent quetzal nests in holes in trees. God has given it the instinct to hold its tail up vertically in the nest so that it fits.
That fits right here. This is the resplendent quetzal, right here. The national bird of Guatemala.
Quetzal.
All right, flightless birds. Let's have Anderson read me flightless birds.
A. Flightless birds. God had designed some birds without the ability to fly. Most of these flightless birds, including ostrich, emus, kiwis, reeds, and cassowaries, do not have a keel on the sternum, as most of their birds do because of this their pectoral sorry pectoral muscle cannot be large enough for flight. Some of these birds also have solid bones, unlike the hollow reinforced bones of flying birds. Because they cannot fly, many of these birds are excellent runners. The ostrich, the largest living bird, is also the only bird with only 2 toes on each foot. This African bird powerful leg muscle made in the fastest running birds, capable of sprinting up to 72 kilometers 45 minutes hour. Because of birds' special cardiovascular and respiratory system, the ostrich also has great stamina. An ostrich can run 48 kilometers for about 30 minutes without becoming tired. Each long tooth carries a hard nail that can seriously wound any predator killed by a trinity ostrich. Thank you.
Very good. All right. So ostriches have this giant toe that'll destroy you. Is that your brother, Anderson?
Sir, he's my brother. Sorry.
So see, this is the ostrich right here. Look at that giant toe it has at the bottom. It would destroy you, okay? I don't know what's after that. Let's see. All right. And I think after this one, it's the last one. All right. I'll read this one right here. Although male ostriches will fight over mates, both males and females will work together to care for the eggs and the precocial chicks. Many females will lay eggs in one nest on the ground. A male and the females will take turns incubating the eggs or keeping them warm. After the chicks hatch, the male leads them around to find food. For protection, the ostriches will sometimes lie down with their necks stretched out on the ground. The myth that ostriches hide with their heads in the sand may come from this behavior. Now, penguins are flightless birds often associated with Antarctica. However, only the emperor penguin and the Adelie penguin live in Antarctica year-round. Most penguins live in colder climates, but the Galapagos penguin lives on the Galapagos Islands at the equator. Other penguins live off the coast of Australia, New Zealand, Africa, and South America. Unlike most flightless birds, penguins have a keel on their sternum. Penguins use these powerful pectorals to fly through the water when they spend most of their time. On land, penguins are awkward, walking with a characteristic waddle. Some penguins will toboggan by laying on their stomachs and using their flippers to propel themselves across snow and ice. This is much faster and more efficient than waddling. The largest living penguin is the emperor penguin, which can be up to 115 centimeters tall and weigh about 37 kilograms. Unlike most penguins, which breed near the ocean, emperor penguins breed far inland. The male emperor penguin balances the egg on his feet and incubates it through the winter using a special flap of skin. The feathers of the emperor penguin help it endure winter temperatures that sometimes plummet to negative 50 degrees Celsius and frigid winter winds that gust over 177 kilometers an hour. The males will also huddle in colonies to stay warm as they incubate the eggs. While the males incubate the eggs, the females return to the sea, sometimes about 160 kilometers away, to feed. The males survive the winter using stored fat. So this is the penguin. These are African penguins. The emperor penguins tobogganing.
Mister,
Yep.
how the penguins have their own like sons, The penguins.
How do they have kids?
Uh-huh.
They lay eggs. They have eggs. Like all other birds, they have eggs. Okay, this is what you have to do. Section review. Okay, describe altricial chicks. What is the world's smallest bird? Which African bird of prey hunts on the ground? Where do most game birds nest? Which birds are the only ones not to provide parental care for the young after hatching? What type of bird has the characteristic patch of bare skin at the base of the bill? What is the only bird with 2 toes on each foot? Which flightless swimming birds have keels on their breastbones? All right, that's what you have to answer. But what you also have to do is you're gonna do a report on a type of bird from Honduras. So you can choose any bird from Honduras. I encourage you, Google a bird from Honduras. And don't let it all be the Aramacao or something like that. Do something different. Like, I was looking up some of the birds that are there. And
We're gonna do one that is lips closed on my house. There are a lot here.
like, watch.
Mister, I will do
Mister.
that.
Like, look at this bird right here. Okay.
Mister, how it calls in English the bird that have like yellow hair?
Ah, can I say in Spanish? Pecho amarillo.
Yes, that one.
Pechito
Look
amarillo.
at it in English, Caleb. Find it in English.
Chest yellow chest. Right.
Yellow jacket.
Look at this one.
No.
You guys can choose anyone you want, but pick one that like no one knows about. Okay.
Ah, that would be hard. I don't know. I'll try to find.
You know, I just looked some photos up. Like this one right here.
The colordina.
Oh,
That one is the one that I tell you.
yeah.
Look at, there's so many birds.
The
So
difference.
Google a bird from Honduras and do a report like you did with your animal report, like your final for the evaluation. That's what I want you guys to do with this bird report. Okay, give me information. Where exactly in Honduras does it live? What does it eat? Does it live?
Oh, we don't need to do chapter review.
I will put a hummingbird of
No, we will not do a
hummingbird.
chapter review. You didn't hear the
You
Mr.
do-
said no, bro.
Section review and your report. You don't have to do chapter review.
I told you, Caleb.
Okay,
I understood that's Mr.
sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
Bye bye.